Are you new to cosplay? Are you thinking about cosplaying? Are you completely overwhelmed with where to start? Good news, because I'm here to help. If you don't know who I am, which, let's face it, most of you watching are either a close relative or a friend that I've bombarded on Facebook and Instagram with links to this video, or you're someone I've never met before, which probably accidentally clicked on this link thinking it was something else. I'm Amanda from FKL Cosplay, and I'm an amateur cosplayer. I use the term amateur very loosely because I've only been cosplaying since March of 2016. That's right, 1 year. So I would say I'm more in the realm of new cosplayer. So I thought I'd make a quick video on how to kind of get into the world of cosplay as a new cosplayer and how to survive in this crazy, crazy environment. Let's get started. So, probably the hardest part of cosplay, in my opinion, is the cosplan. Deciding what to actually cosplay. I know from personal experience, I will make a plan to cosplay something, maybe make a piece or two, and then completely change my mind. Or even before I start the cosplay, making the pieces, change my mind like a bajillion times before I'm actually settled on what I am going to be cosplaying. My big tip is choose a cosplay that means something to you. From a fandom that you enjoy, like Star Wars, or an anime, or a television show, or a movie. Choose something that you personally connect with, because the worst thing is when you go to a convention and you're cosplaying as something that you might not know too much about, or you got roped into a group with some friends and you're cosplaying a character that you don't really know where you're from or what you're doing, and you get fans of that fandom, that anime, that movie, that whatever, come up to you and start asking questions about what you're cosplaying and about where it came from, and you're stuck there going, That's the worst. Don't do it. Cosplay something that you know. That's probably a FKL pet peeve 1, I guess. You're gonna get into conversation with people that are fans of the character that you are cosplaying. So if you are cosplaying a character from an anime that you've only watched a couple episodes of, or you've never watched, or you never really got into, or whatever, do your research. Research the character, watch YouTube clips of that character, Wikipedia is your best friend, just do your research so that when you do get into those eventual conversations with fans of that fandom, that you can at least contribute a little bit and you don't look like a complete ass because you don't know anything about the character that you're cosplaying. So, tip number 1, cosplay either a character that you like or a character that you have done your research on. Congratulations! You finally decided on what cosplay you're going to do after weeks and weeks of planning and researching and drawing up. You've finally done it. Good job. Naturally, the next step is plan your cosplay. Before we talk about materials, let's talk about design. There are hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of reference pictures on Google. Google is your best friend. Use it. Use Google if it's an anime, YouTube, Crunchyroll, whatever. Any resources you can think of, do your research before you plan anything. People put concept art out there all the time. Just make sure that if you are using someone's concept art, that you give them credit for it, especially if you are posting pictures on social media or a video or anything along those lines. Give credit to the person that you're taking the idea from. If it's your own idea, fantastic. Take bits and pieces from here and there, ideas, YouTube, tons of tutorials out there. My favorite tutorial is from a guy called Evil Ted, and he does all kinds of like foam armor tutorials. So just any tutorial you can think of. If you want to use any sort of materials, just type in that material, tutorial. The world is at your fingertips with the internet, so use it. Try creating a list of all of the items that you are going to need for your cosplay. Make a list of everything that you need. All the materials, what the materials are used for, everything. Make a list of all of the different parts of your cosplay, and then make a list of all of the items you need for those parts. Think of it as listception. There's some materials that you need to have a basic familiarity with before you start creating your cosplay. If you are doing any sort of armor, or the cheapest and easiest material to get is anti-fatigue foam, or EVA foam. I get mine from Harbor Freight. It's like $10 and you get either 4 thick sheets or thinner, like a roll of thinner EVA foam. So I would recommend investing in 1 or 2 of those rolls or packages because you go through a lot of it. EVA foam is super easy to work with, super easy to manipulate. Speaking of, you are going to need a shit ton of box cutters. I know at Harbor Freight they have like little like crappy ones for like 50 cents. I grab a handful of those every time I go, just in case. I have a couple of the nicer ones too, but I find myself using the smaller, like easy little ones a lot more. Box cutters dull really quickly, so if you buy box cutters, buy either a lot of them or a lot of replacement blades, because you'll go through tons of them making a cosplay depending on how much armor you have on your cosplay that you are doing. Second thing you need, heat gun. Heat gun. I've seen tutorials where people are forming foam over top of their stoves using heat from their stoves. You're so much better off buying a heat gun. It's just a glorified industrial hairdryer. Mine has 2 settings on it. There's like a lot of heat, and there's like a super powered heat. It was like $15 at Harbor Freight. It's easier to use and manipulate, and it's mobile. You can take it somewhere else. I've seen a lot of cosplayers use hot glue to attach their foam pieces together, which works, it does. But if you're like me and a little clumsy and you don't have too much of a steady hand, I'm actually surprised I have any fingerprints left. Yeah, my light! It fell. Oh shit. Darn. Okay. I use a form of rubber cement. I just pick it up at Walmart to attach my foam pieces. It's very easy. You just kind of rub it on both pieces. I blast it with the heat gun for like 15 seconds and then it attaches. But you want to make sure that you are very careful with it, because once it attaches, it's really hard to pull it apart, especially if you like dry it a little bit beforehand. So materials: foam if you are doing armor, heat gun if you're using foam, glue gun, or rubber cement. Of course, fabric, if you're doing any fabric work, I would recommend sewing machine. Hand stitching things sucks. So invest in a good sewing machine if you are doing a lot of fabric work. Make sure that you have a lot of glue sticks. I go through glue sticks like nobody's business. I go and I buy the 100-pack of glue sticks and they're gone in like a month. Like, buy lots of glue sticks for your glue gun if you're planning on using it, because that stuff goes faster than you think it's going to go. So get lots of glue sticks. Another material you're going to want is some sort of primer. I use Plasti Dip. Just get it at Walmart in a little can. They also have spray. I don't like the spray. I don't know if I'm just not using it right, but it bubbles and it doesn't really cover it uniformly and like nicely. I like the stuff that I can paint on with a paintbrush. Of course, I just use little like 94-cent paintbrushes because Plasti Dip ruins it like that. So I use a paintbrush that I'm not emotionally attached to Plasti Dip items. Take it from me. Patience is your friend. I am probably seriously the least patient person in the entire world. And if you don't let things cure and dry and just leave them to sit for a little bit, you're going to ruin them. I have ruined so many pieces of fabric and foam and cosplay pieces because I have been impatient and I just wanted to get it done, and then it's ruined and I have to start from scratch. So it's easier to just let it sit for a little bit, work on something else while it is curing or drying, whatever, and then come back to it instead of ruining it and having to start all over. Don't be like me. Don't start an important piece the night before or 2 nights before a convention, because you will ruin it or it will end up looking like crap because you're hurrying through it. Start the important stuff first, and then all of the little details you can add after, especially if there are a lot of steps and a lot of stuff that you need to do. For example, this is my scythe, one of them. I have to make another one for my Kabutops cosplay that I am working on currently. I started this probably 2 weeks ago, and it is wooden dowel handle, cardboard on the inside that I carved out. Then I paper mache'd it, and I'm currently working on doing a layer of wood glue and water mixture so that I can sand it and make it nice and smooth. Someone on Facebook or Instagram, I can't remember, gave me that idea. So this side has the wood glue and water mixture on it. I still need to do this side because I was trying to be patient, and I did this side first with a couple layers, and I have let it sit in here for a week, mostly because I've been procrastinating a little bit. And now I'll do this side, let it dry, and then probably at some point sand it, and then start the process all over again. Yay! Please, please, please try on your cosplay before a convention. You need to know how everything is going to look together before the big day, because you might think something's gonna look good and then you put it on and it looks terrible, and then you're stuck with it because you're on your way to the convention or you're getting ready and you don't have time to fix anything or put anything, attach anything on to pieces or whatever. If something falls off and you don't have your materials, you're kind of SOL. So try everything on, and I mean like everything. Wig, contacts, makeup, do a makeup test. All of your pieces, attach them all before the day of the convention, so you know what it looks like, you know how to move in it, you know if you can sit down or not. I've had cosplays I have not been able to sit down. Can you pee? Pretty much all of my cosplays I do not have the ability to pee in, which sucks, but cosplay, man. Invest in a full-length mirror, please, so you can see yourself head to toe. I have one chilling over there on the back of my door. I should have one downstairs where I do all of my armor work, but I'm lazy and I haven't gotten one yet. But get one. Do as I say, not as I do. When you try on a cosplay before a convention, it's kind of like your last chance to tweak things if they don't quite fit right or look right, or if you need to repaint anything or do anything else. So definitely try on before the day of the convention. So those are just some quick tips from one amateur new cosplayer to another. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. And as a new cosplayer, it's definitely exciting, overwhelming, a little scary, because there are hundreds of just amazing cosplayers and costume makers out there, and you're constantly trying to be like them or be at that same caliber. So definitely practice, tutorials, YouTube, Google. All of that is going to help you become a great cosplayer. I think the next installment is going to be how to survive at conventions as a new cosplayer, so keep an eye out for that in the coming future. If you have any suggestions of any videos that you want to see from one new cosplayer to another, comment below, hit the like button, help a girl out, kind of getting out there on social media and expanding my cosplay brand. I appreciate it. I know other people appreciate it. So just support, man. Support. Don't forget to like FKL Cosplay on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. I have a Patreon. Patreon? I think it's like Patreon because they're like patrons, so I'm going to say Patreon. I'm not expecting anything out of it, but I thought I'd start it now just to see what it's like. So if you're feeling generous and you want to help out, you know, subscribe for hopefully new videos in the future. We'll see how this goes. Until next time, kitties, I'm Amanda from FKL Cosplay. This is the B-roll. Oh. Talking to a computer is really awkward. I'm just saying. Making these type of videos are really weird. Come to the dark side. But I'm a light sider. But you must come to the dark side. I have problems.